Hey, this is Mark, the Southern Gardener. I wanted to talk to y'all real quick about blackberry picking. I can do other videos on blackberries. These blackberries all started with 2 plants about 2 years ago. And I took and tip propagated every single one of these things. And I sold a bunch, but I also just planted, I don't know, it was a 10 or so right here. But everything came from tip propagation. We could talk about that more, but really what I wanted to go over was, when do you know to pick a blackberry? If you pick a blackberry that ain't right, you're in for a surprise here. But if you pick a blackberry that is right, that'll change your whole life. So these blackberries, they start off green and then they turn red, and then they turn black. So you don't want to pick, and this goes for most things, you don't want to pick anything that isn't quite ripe. It won't taste right. So I'm going to take a look at this thing, and that's black all over. And watch this, watch how easy this pulls off. I barely put any pressure to that. That thing is ripe, dripping with a little rainwater, just as ripe as it can be. That's a perfect blackberry. That's when you know when to pick them. Now, sometimes you'll run into, that one picked off pretty easy too. You'll run into a blackberry that's still got a little red to it, and that is a surprise. So that looked pretty good at first glance. You're like, oh, that might be a good blackberry. And then you take a look at it right there, that red, that will not be good. That will be sour. So take a look at your blackberries before you pick them. This is Natchez and Navajo, I believe. I also have Triple Crown. These are great blackberry plants. Prolific, super tall, and I pinch the tops and everything. They just grow like weeds. And this is my little blackberry patch. I might do a video on propagating, but I guess I can give you just a quick tip if you have them starting to propagate now, which I'm not doing, on how to propagate blackberry plants. So what I'm gonna do, I got a plant like this right here. This one isn't quite tall enough. You want something tall enough that it's bending all the way down to the ground just about. And this probably could just about. I have it tied up though. But you see this tip right here? I tipped it at one point to make those lateral branching. And so this is new growth. This new growth right here, this new tip right here, all you got to do is get your little pot of soil. It can be potting soil. It doesn't have to be nothing special. Y'all don't need to go spend a ton of money on perlite and all this other crap people always talk about. You just need a little bit of potting soil. You know, pinch that tip off, which I'm doing for lateral branching anyway. And you take that and you stick it right in a pot of soil, just like that. Maybe pick off a couple branches so it'll go in the soil a little bit better. But you just stick that right in the soil, put a rock over top of it, put it down there, maybe not all the way to the bottom of the pot, maybe halfway. Put you a rock, let it sit there for 3-4 weeks, and you will have some roots. Let it go maybe another couple more weeks, and you'll have a whole plant. Clip it off from a mama plant right here, clip it off, and you got you a plant. So you put that one back up, it'll still produce, and then you got your one to sell or put wherever you want in the garden. But this is how it turned out. I planted these last fall, and they came out pretty good. They're getting pretty tall. So this one's a good example. I have not tipped this one yet because it wasn't quite tall enough. Wanted to get somewhere near the top of this wire, and you're gonna come through, more lateral branching. That lateral branching is going to give us more fruit. So that's why you tip these things. These are maybe a little on the tall side. I really don't care for them to be that tall. I can't reach up there sometimes to grab stuff. But each one of these shoots will get so long, 4 or 5 foot. Once it gets about 4 or 5 foot, I'm going to tip it. So like this one right here, real tall. It's starting to put off a couple different branches. I'm going to come in there, and I'm going to tip this also. You just, it ain't nothing pretty about it. You just pull off the top piece, and it will put off new shoots. So it's been tipped at one point, I guess, because I got new branches. Every bit of this is going to put off new side shoots, which give you flowers, which gives you fruit, which gives you delicious blackberry pie. That's pretty much it. Like I said, I might do a video on how to do that propagation, because it's really easy. But that's it on the blackberries. Water them 1 inch of rain per week, or 1 inch of water from drip irrigation, soaker hose, whatever it may be. You fertilize once you see the primicanes start coming up, which is the brand new growth. Floricane is your old growth, which is a difference here. You'll see you got some darker wood and stuff like that. A million videos on this kind of stuff, but so anytime you see your new primicanes coming up, that's brand spanking new growth from the bottom. That's when you want to fertilize first in the early part of the year, and then you fertilize once again when you start seeing the fruit set. We're into June pretty good already, so these are we've been picking these for weeks now, and they still got flowers on them. Beautiful flowers, by the way. But that's it. Blackberries are really easy, really easy to grow. And I think these are semi-trailing, so you have to kind of trellis them a little bit or they'll fall to the ground. But very easy. They'll last you years and years. And when they stop lasting, propagate and keep them going. Tear out the old, put in some new ones. Really easy stuff. All right, well, thanks for watching.